Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I'm Chris Orme. This is our update look back at season 4, our second year in the Premier League on FM19. Our football manager streams that were done live on twitch.tv/Chris Orme. Head on over, hit that notification and follow, and subscribe if you can. You get some emotes, nice badge in chat. So we're supporting the stream, me and this YouTube channel all in one. So without further ado, let's get into it. We're going to open up with the business we did. So as you can see, Fabry, young striker. We got Nico, a young midfielder. Guiliu is a young attacking mid. Pedrosa's another young striker. McKay's a young left back. And everybody else is for the first team. So this is the amount of overhaul we did. Now we open up really with some departures. So Matt Grimes out, Blackburn 850,000, not bad there. Decent little player, turned out to be quite well, but I didn't feel going forward he offered enough for us, so he left us. Borja, great scenes on the final day, but he wasn't going to cut it after season 3. I knew that we had to make a change up front. Borja was the guy that needed to leave. And so he disappeared. Short amount of money there to Middlesbrough, but a decent player. And then at the end of June, Reading come in with a £25 million bid, rising to 28 for our young goalie Dean Henderson. And I could not say no. I could not say no. So he played okay for us. And as I say, cheap in terms of our pickup. He got us that promotion. He got us, that 8th place finish in the league. He went to Reading, did bits for them. Couldn't keep them up. They actually got relegated. And they've resold him now on to Southampton for the start of season 5. So bit of business being happening with Dean Henderson. As you can see, a lot of money exchanging hands for this young Englishman. But good goalie. Very good goalie for us. But I couldn't turn down that money. I think they came in with like a £16 million bid. And then I basically told them it wasn't good enough. They came back with like an £18 million bid. And then I said, okay, I want 25, rising to 28. They called my bluff. So at that point, we need a goalkeeper. Now, I know Borja's going out. I know Adrian's going out. I know a few people are going out on loan. I know I'm trying to get rid of Ollie McBurney as well. Good striker, but again, I'm really liking Arp and Kalenovic up top. I'm liking Duvon as a backup option. I'm liking some of the youngsters we've got. There's some exciting guys at the club. He's unhappy. I removed his captain's armband. In the end, big money deal going out for him. But I knew those were happening. So, at this stage, top and bottom, I need to replace. So we start up top. Gabriel Barbosa, free transfer. Absolutely fantastic player in his day. Doesn't quite sort of live up to that in this game. Never really fulfilled his promise. But a good little player. Sat on the bench for a few games for a while. We do end up selling him on. As you can see, he's now at Aston Villa. So we do end up selling Barbosa a little later in the season when I'm clearing house. So $3 million for him. And of course, with Adrian and Henderson leaving, Ranjkovic, good goalie, ends up leaving once first team football. But we buy him for 4.3. We also buy David Rea for 4.9 million. Becomes our starting keeper. Still is a starting goalkeeper going into season 5. And I'm happy with him until some young prospects actually develop. So those problems got solved. And then I started looking around. I thought, backline, need someone to come in. Igor Rebello, he comes in. Big, solid, no issues. Just a nice option to have there to add in. I know Tarkovsky's probably not going to make it through the season with us. So Rebello comes in, fills that spot nicely. The number 3 defender. And in fact, for some of the season, he was the partner for Franco, and captain Benedict Gimber was on the bench. Backup right back, the fullbacks do some business. They do a bit of work. So John Joe Kenny, cheap deal, coming in from Everton, decent little backup right back for us. It was important to get that player in because Connor Roberts went out to West Ham. Another bid that I really couldn't say no to. Player wanted to go. Money was okay. I didn't feel I was losing anything. Ocampo was turning out to be better, and I could bring Kenny in on the cheap. So we just said yes to that deal. Sad to see Roberts go, but he's had a decent little run with West Ham, and I'm happy with the moves we made. The only other big ones in then coming towards January for us. So moving down the list here, Taylor Moore, the backup option, he moves out to Forest. Decent, but again, wasn't going to make it at this level with us, wasn't going to break into the team. And then into January, Valencia was going to retire. We let him go out. Tarkovsky, as I say, we needed to make some money back on him. So we did. And in January, I decided, yes, we're not playing with our formation anymore. It's no longer a diamond. It's now a defensive midfielder and 3 central mids. It's still very narrow, but we're now playing a formation. If we look at the tactics, and you can see pretty much the team that we're building there ever so slightly. But if I remove that for now, you can see here it's a very sort of compact, sort of little bit of creativity on the wide positions, but it's very much central midfield focused. You know, the fullbacks do a lot of work. These wide players do a lot of work defensively as well. But the fullbacks are the main force, and then, you know, it's just about getting the ball up top and letting the strikers do their thing. There's not too much support at times from elsewhere in the team. But it meant no attacking midfield players. So now we start to look at our team. And on the bench and throughout the team, I've got a plethora of midfielders. And I want a defensive mid to come in. So Toussaint comes in for 11 million almost. He sits there. Avdic can go back on the bench and have some more time to develop. He's not quite ready, but Lucas Toussaint, very, very solid player for us. Absolutely love what he's done in our team. As you can see, played 14 times, decent rating, not too bad, but 3 tackles a game, 90% passing, you know, fouls and fouls against are fairly even, but he's just there to be big and bulky as a halfback in that role and just sop up all that sort of attacking midfielders or the wingers cutting in, the box-to-box midfielders coming forward. He's just there to really keep all that under wraps and then play a nice simple ball out for me. Absolutely love that. But we had too many centre mids. So Theo goes back out on loan. Jadas, we don't play with attacking mids. He doesn't really fit my new midfield philosophy. So we make a big profit on him, sending him out to Sampdoria. He's done really well out there. I say Rankovic wanted first team football. Starting upset the squad, couldn't have that. Key point of the season for me in January. So he goes out to Spurs and he's going to be back up there. He doesn't even get first team football. Febas, again, kind of lost out in the numbers battle. Good performance. He heads to Mexico with Pachuca. Decent little fee for him. Bardi sitting in the reserves. Needed to move him on. A little bit of a loss. But again, I feel that he had some good times with us. We got our money's worth, so I'm okay. Salina, again, attacking mid. Couldn't really, put him in that centre mid spot that I really wanted to. So he had to go out. Barbosa, decent deal there. Made a bit of profit on him. Got the wages off the books. And he's now with Villa. But he scored a goal. He did a couple of games. But really, I wanted just to move on from him. And call up the youngsters. And then deadline day. Real Madrid put 30 million up front, 12 million over 12 months in 2 payments, and 8 million in other clauses, rising to 50 million for Tonali. And I could not say no. I could not say no. So then I'm scrambling. Then I'm trying to decide what I want to do and how I want to do it. So I went out looking. I checked a bunch of places. Diego Robles, 3.1 million from River Plate. Same place we got Soto for 6 million. Absolutely phenomenal defender. Nobody looks like him in this game. 20 years old he came in. Absolutely fantastic. And I believe he's just taken the captain's armband as well. So really excited to see him. I don't think he can develop much more. He's pretty much nailed on. Or he can develop a little bit more, maybe. But Robles and Franco are starting to really like what he brings. So for 10 million between Robles and Franco, and Soto was that 12? Yeah, about 12 million for 3 absolutely fantastic Argentinians. You include Ocampo in that, that's 15 million for 4 very, very good Argentinians. So a lot of talent down there. Now that was a deal and a half. And then I had 2 deals in place. You can see we actually brought Renato Sanchez back to Swansea for 32.5 million. Mainly due to his physicals and work rate and determination. And I wanted that engine room midfielder that would close down, that would run with the ball, that would do a bit of everything for me. And he fit the bill quite nicely. We almost had, and this kind of is kind of crazy to say, but a deal was in place for Adrian Rabiot as well. As you can see, 31.5. He's unhappy this transfer was blocked. That's to do with us. We put a bid in when he was transfer listed, or before he was transfer listed, it got rejected. Went back later on, he's transfer listed, he is unhappy again. We put another bid in, 37 million, I believe. And I was just looking for midfielders to fill the void. Almost picked up Rabiot, but he wanted 120 or 130 grand. We agreed at about 100 grand a week. But I felt Renato Sanchez was as good, if not better. A little bit cheaper. Better in areas that I liked and worse in areas that I already had in the team. Rabiot was better creatively and going forward. I got those midfielders. But physically and tenacious midfielder who's willing to put the work in, be that engine, Renato won out. So, for much less money, I got a very nice player to bring back in. And, yeah, so far so good on that deal. But losing Tonali was rough. Getting Renato makes up for it. And as you can see, a big, big income for us. Big income. But how did that all come together then? We've got a bunch of young players coming in over the next couple of years. I keep setting up deals with these 14, 15, 16-year-olds. And they keep ticking in. So, some names there, maybe, to remember. So, into the Cups. We don't do well against Sheffield Wednesday. We get the early goal, we get the win. We don't do well. And then again, the kids go out against Leeds, get a result, get absolutely taken apart again by Man United, though. The FA Cup. Like, 4th round was our objective, 5th round was our objective for the FA Cup. So, we hit our objectives, but a big win from our reserves and the kids again in this cup. We played the first team strikers because we needed to get through against Shrewsbury. And also, Arp is coming back from an injury. So, not a big problem there. Again, we play the kids, play Duvon. He scores goals, he does bits. At the end of the season, we've actually turned down a £66 million bid for him, which was absolutely unseen. So I'm glad to be keeping him. We're past the deadline now. We should be good. But yeah, overall, really rough as well. We kind of got back into it with the kids. And then Fabio Silva late on with another heartbreaker. But into the league. Good start. Grabbing the goals. Barbosa on the sheet on his debut. Not great for Sherdan. Not a great debut for him away to Leicester. That kind of killed that game. Up, back at it. Another couple of goals. Duvon's on one. Then an unbelievable result at home to Crystal Palace. Like, they were terrible. They were absolutely terrible this year. I don't know what happened, but we could not get into this game at all. They didn't play well. They got maybe 2 chances. They took one of them. I don't know what happened at all. It was just crushing. And then an early goal, a late penalty for them, undeserved, I felt. And then we do get out of it with Arp in the end. Jadas, one of the last things he'll do before leaving us is get a few key goals and assists, one of which at home to Chelsea is big. And that means then losing away to Arsenal, not a big deal in the run of things. Arp, again, getting us into a good position. 2-0 up. Bournemouth again come back at us. It's 2-2. And then Arp finishes off with a penalty. Kula, he steps up, big man against Stoke. We get a goal from Soto as well. Late goal from West Ham, but we get out of it. And then the first of some crushing games. Liverpool. Just early game, absolutely battered us. We get back in before halftime with Arp. And we got chances and chances. We're hitting the post, ruled out for offside. There's so much going on, but we're in the ascendancy, and we just can't get the goal we need. Luckily, at home against Man City, we're much more clinical. All 3 of the strikers I used actually get on the score sheet, get us out that game. And when they scored, Duvon off the bench puts one in the back of the net straight away. So we settle our nerves. Trip to Villa to avenge the loss of last season. Early goal, late goal. We give one up, but we get out of that game with the points. Soto hits a hat-trick. His first hat-trick and only hat-trick for the club. On an absolutely fantastic performance. There's a free kick, there's a header, and there's a good team move which he drives in from the edge of the box. But after that, we're back to losing tough games. Franco heads the ball away from Raya for Suso's goal. Raya's coming to claim it from a corner. Don't know what Franco does, but he heads it to the side. Suso runs on, empty net, and they get back in within a minute of the restart. We get the goal just for half-time. We give it back so quickly. That kind of killed us. They used the momentum then to go on and win that game. If Suso doesn't score that, if that chance doesn't develop, if Raya claims that ball and Franco doesn't head it, I feel we get out of that game with at least a draw. We were playing so well against United, I think we get out of that game with at least a draw. But morale takes a hit. And then I completely get things wrong once again against Newcastle. A bit of an anomaly here, like the Palace game. Completely get it wrong. 2 minutes, we're 1-0 up. Suddenly it's all starting to fall apart, and we're 4-1 down. Quick response from Kula, 4-2, and I'm thinking, okay, next goal's key. And they stall out the game, and we push at the end, trying to get that goal to bring it back to 4-3. Muto completes his hat-trick, and then 95th minute, Costa completes his. So, absolutely normally, we don't worry about it. We dust ourselves off. We get into the game against Spurs, take the lead again, Tonali, again 44th minute. Moura gets an equaliser, and then Tonali gets himself sent off. And, I really feel again that we were pushing them. We could have got a result. We could have got all 3 points. But down to 10 men, we had to settle for a single point. Early goal in a bad game against Reading. We get out of that one. Again, we just get undone. 2 early goals, we put one straight back, but Burnley shut up shop. There's no way back from that one. So we go down to a tough one. Arp gets me a goal. Jadas there with another equaliser. The battle of the great attacking mids for Swansea. Jadas and Sigurdsson. Then we get a nice 2-0 win. And a nice 4-0 win on the road. And then a 1-0 win that wasn't comfortable, not even after that red card. But it's a 1-0 win. And then we go to Stamford Bridge. Kalinovic hits the early goal. We shut up shop. We Mourinho park the bus in front of the goal. Chelsea can't break us down. 4 wins on the bounce. 4 clean sheets on the bounce. And going into February, I'm absolutely loving life. We've run Arsenal close at their place, but they get a good result. We run Liverpool close, I feel we're unlucky. We run United close, I feel we're unlucky. And Spurs were very unlucky at home to draw. I go in to the Arsenal game with all the confidence in the world. We get the early goal, they peg us right back. We go back and take the lead. And then we give up a sloppy goal just before halftime. And then as we start trying to play the ball about, looking for a way forward, they hit a counter-attack. Zivkovic, 10 minutes from time. Absolute heartbreaker once again. Against the big boys this season, we just weren't able to get the job done. And then in the next game, against Bournemouth, we get a goal, they get one back, but we keep moving onwards. We don't let them get into the game. We solve the Bournemouth problem, finally. Couple of late goals there from the big boys. We get into a nice run for the end of the season. And this is a good season. Good win at home. Kalinovic again with the only goal against Stoke. A little bit lucky at times against West Ham, but we get out of that one with a win. And then we're chasing the game. 1-0 down. 1-0 with a weird diving header goal from Jimenez. Then Icardi with a goal. Late on, we change things up. We bring Duvon off the bench. He gets me the goal. We're pushing now. We're in the ascendancy. Counter-attack. Icardi. Game over. And another counter towards the end. 89th minute. Ziankov. Zygankov. Whatever your name is, Victor. Like this. That one was so tough. That was the biggest heartbreak of them all. That was the end of Thursday night stream, I believe. This game here for Liverpool. Down a goal to Ruben Neves. Back with a goal for Arp. Duvon with a winner late on. We rescue ourselves a little bit. But I knew at this point that where we wanted to go, where we were going, and how the final few games looked weren't adding up as well as we wanted. So our goal was to get into Europe. We've been flirting with Champions League spots all year long. And towards the end of the season, with the final sort of 5 or 6 games to go, we found ourselves in second place. We found ourselves 3 points behind Man United, who sat in first. We found ourselves a couple of points behind Liverpool as well, or a point behind Liverpool. Everybody would drop points. Villa, good win. Watford away, tough but a good win. Man United at home, they get a goal, we get a goal, they get a goal, opening 20 minutes. Absolutely crazy. They pick up another goal, and I'm starting to worry. We get a goal, but then Martial with number 4, 4-2 down. I decide to throw everybody on, everybody up top. We're pushing on, we're going for broke. Up, 83rd minute. Quick response, 4-3. 95th minute from a corner. Kula with a header at the near post. We get our point, we get out of the game. What could have been the title decider, if we'd have won, it puts it in our hands. If they win, it pretty much hands them the title. So a draw doesn't help either of us. Kind of helps them a little bit more, but we rescue it at the death. And then Newcastle, nice, easy. Robles with his first goal for the club. Get out of that one. Great performance from the boys. And what happened at United, at home to United, happens away from home as well. But not for us. Not for us, boys. Kula with the opener. Son with the equaliser. Renato Sanchez is first for the club. 10 minutes from time. And then Danny Rose. 95th minute. Good save with the keeper. Hits the post. Trickles there. Keeper can't quite get to it. Danny Rose squeezes it in from a tight angle from up close. And it's all tears and disappointment. But Man U just lost. Man U dropped their game. And it's all back on. Now we go in knowing that we need to win. We need to win, and United need to lose their last game of the season. Their last game of the season is away to Arsenal. We're at home to relegated Reading. And it happens again. Late goal by Fit-Up. We check the scores towards the end of the game. United are 3-1 up at the Emirates. Callahan gets a late goal against us anyway. And what a season that could have been. If we would have won and United win, then we'd be 2 points off them. If they draw and we win, we would have lost the title on goal difference. It had to be an Arsenal win. It had to be a Swansea win. And yeah, across the season, I don't think we can look at this any longer, but we're kind of here, and then here, and then here, all the way. But what can I say about that season? What can I say about that season? Not a great defense. Not a bad defense, but not a great defense. We could have played better. The goals, we scored quite a few. We didn't quite score enough. The goal difference really hurt us. We're a point ahead of Man City, point ahead of Liverpool. And again, it's only one goal conceded by Liverpool that really hurt them. And City conceded 8 against Liverpool. Liverpool only conceded 3 against City. So, when you look at it that way, Liverpool did all they could. But it was a tough run-in. It was a very tough run-in. And even though I thought we still had a chance, we end up second place. We cannot be ashamed of that. 6th place was the goal. I would have taken 5th. We had an eye in the Champions League towards the mid-year sort of break. We pushed on. We almost got the title. Results went our way to take it to the final day. But then it was taken out of our hands. But all in all, absolutely phenomenal season. Clean sheet record as well for Raya in goal. So a clean sheet record for Raya with 15. Sandro Kulinovic with 7 man of match awards. 10 assists in the season. 27 goals in a year as well. Highest average rating. Player of the season for the first time. Not a left back. Martin Olsen season 1 and season 2 at left back. He retires. Ayende's in for season 3. Wins the award. He actually comes 3rd this year. Our right back, Ocampo, comes 2nd in voting. But Kulinovic does win it. Absolutely crazy scenes. New highest finish as well. So much about it to absolutely love. As you can see though, we're changing the vice captains, the youth facilities. There's a lot more youth facilities. They don't show in season 1 and 2, but we did them season 1 and 2 as well. But in fact, I think we've done one around here and one again. So we're always doing the youth and training facilities. And we got the youth category back up to category 1. We got the stadium increase. We got another stadium increase on the way. I'm very happy with how things are moving and shaping up. But what a season that was. What a season that was. So to be where we were, get promoted into the Premier League, and have those 6 seasons in the sun, that dreadful 7th campaign. Then the first under my rules, 16th in the Championship, board not happy, things really going poorly, winning the Championship, up to 8th, up to 2nd in our 2nd season. The sky's the limit for this team. Things could be really good. And all I can say is, I'm very happy with where things go from here. I'm very happy with where things will go from here. I'm excited. We've got out of the transfer window. We did lose one player. We lost one player I did not want to lose. So, Bro from our reserves to West Ham. Don't mind losing him. 39 million. Don't know how good he's going to be, but he doesn't play a position we want to play. He wasn't quite good enough to break into the team, even if he did. Didn't see a way forward in the next 2 seasons. West Ham went crazy, and I cannot say more. I'd have probably sold him for half that. Now we're cleaning up people that we're not using all the way. Surda, 17.5 out to PSV. But Fiat Arp. Arp had a great year with us. He had a great 2 years, let's face facts. For 9.5 million, you can see he hit like almost 1 in 2 in his first season. He improved that to over 1 in 2, but over 1 in 2 in that 2nd season. I can't say any more than he's been an absolute steal of a player. Now, the 42.5, that sucks because that was his minimum fee release clause, and I forgot about it. When I signed him, I gave it to him. I meant to give him a new contract towards the end of this last season. I didn't. Monaco came in, and that really, really sucks. So, I hate to lose Arp, but he's been a fantastic servant. Like I say, what's that? 33 goals in 69 games. Very nice. Him and Cooler up top have been really, really good for me. But overall, he had to go. Understood. We make some money elsewhere with some small signings and bits and pieces. But really, between the Bro deal, the Surda deal, and the Arp deal, that's the 100 million that comes in. We've got a young midfielder in Duval who's not going to be great, but might do a bit of business for us later on when he gets resold. When I scouted him the first time, he looked a lot better. He doesn't look very good now. So we'll see. I'm glad that was only a free. Victor on a 300,000 purchase. I really like that. Bit of hit and miss Italian with a Brazilian passport. We'll see if he develops or if he doesn't. And then my replacements for Arp. Again, like the goalkeeper, like Henderson, when he went out, why get 1 when you can get 2? I've been looking at Muratovic since the start of this save. 15.5 million. Absolute steal, I feel, for Almir Muratovic. He's already worth double that in our team. He will be an absolute bit of business going forward. I'm sure of that. And he picks up right where Arp left off. Sevilla beat him to us a couple of years ago. He's done absolutely nothing with them. They haven't even played him. He did bits out on loan, almost 1 in 2 there, though, for Deportivo Alaves. 15.5, that was his release clause. And I'm very happy to have Muratovic at this club. So he might start, he might not start. I think Duvon probably starts up front with Kalinovic going forward. But also another release clause on one a little bit more for the future, maybe. Like if Kalinovic ends up getting bought in January at the end of the season, if there's a bid there, if someone comes back in for Duvon, Toshiyuki, Takita, the German, of course he's German, born in a part of Germany I can't really pronounce very well, Tsurugashima in Japan, Germany. Yeah, I don't know. He was at Japan, a Japanese club. He moved to HSV. We activate the release clause. He had a good season for HSV after they got relegated. He wanted to leave. Again, I think that's an absolute bit of business there. Absolutely loving that. So we got Kula, Muratovic, Duvon, and Takita now. We got Pedrosa and Fabri as our young players coming through. So if I lose Duvon and Klenovic, I can go Muratovic and Takita with Pedrosa on the bench. Fabri coming through as the fourth choice. Lots of ways I can take this now. So losing up doesn't hurt us too bad. And you're getting a preview of this. I will be posting a few of these transfers up on Twitter a little later after this video goes live. And they won't know until Monday when I start up the stream and break down these transfers. You get a little bit of sneak peek on what business we've done. So Arp out, Söder out, Bro out, bunch of others just cleaning all the players that we brought in that weren't really good enough. And Muratovic, Takita. And then the midfield boy. Put in a 20 million bid. They said no. He was unhappy. He asked for a transfer. They said no. I went in with a 28 million bid just to see where they were. They automatically accepted. So in two minds over whether to try and reduce that fee, I thought, no, that's fine. We've got the money. We've made our cash. Let me get Sarah into that midfield. Absolute bit of business again. Love Philip Serra. He fits our team so well, what we want to do, what we can do, and I'm absolutely delighted. He's another physical monstrosity. He's got some really good mentals, some key attributes as well in the technical. Absolutely loving having him. He's another young player that we can bring into this side and really kick on. Porto didn't use him. But 28 million. I can't help but love that. I can't help but love that. So if you look at the first team, like right now, goalkeepers, David Raya, Erosa ready to take over. We've got our fullbacks, Ocampo and Kenny on the right. I've got Ayinde and Earl on the left. Good starters. And then decent backups. That's all we need. We got our starting centre-backs, the Argentinians, Franco and Robles. On the bench, our backup partnership for now. Rebello might get a deal out some point this season. But we got Rebello and Gimba, the former captain. And we got youngster Rui Gomez, who doesn't look quite ready, but he's almost getting there. We'll see how he develops as well. But long term, he could be a good addition for us. Our starting defensive midfielder will be Lucas Tuzart. We've got Avdic still growing here, still looking quite good. And we'll see how he develops moving forward. Of course, our big money signing. On the right of the three is Soto. On the left now, replacing Fala, is Philip Serra. And in the middle, we put Renato Sanchez. Absolutely loving that. Great sort of energy down the right side. Great energy down the left side. Sanchez through the middle being a little beast. You've got young players as well, though, in the midfield. Joe Magina. We've got Avdic, as I say, there. Keegan Fowler, who just lost his spot in the team, but still looks really good and could be a factor moving forward. And, of course, the left foot of dreams, Mike Mensah, with that won the goal against Spurs. I don't know if he makes it long term. I don't know how good he develops. But between him and Bro, I liked Mensah a little bit better. Plus, Mensah can actually play centre mid. Then up top, Kolenovic and Duvon probably are starters. Muratovic and Takita very capable now in terms of backups. Pedrosa here to sit on the bench for the time being. But I really like how we're set up. I think we've got some great players going forward. We've got a really good deep midfield group. We've got decent backups to our world-class fullbacks, and we've got a set of centre-backs I'm happy with. Raya may be upgraded at some point. Erosa may or may not be that man moving forward. In terms of groups in the squad, 4 Germans, 4 Argentinians. We now see the Portuguese lads coming in. Pedrosa, Magina, and Gomez, defender, midfielder, striker for the future. Erosa there, that entire sort of spine of the team under development, and could be fantastic. And then in the team, the left centre mid and the centre mid, Felipe Serra, Renato Sanchez, absolutely loving how this team is set up. So, pretty good in terms of age. Rebeo may be leaving at 27, Reyes 26, we've got a few 25s, and then a bunch of teenagers here. A couple in the team as well. Very, very young. In terms of who's actually in the reserves now, well, Fabri's there learning. Vitor's still there. Les Class at right back for long term. Guilou just came in. Kempton's there in defensive midfield. We've got Fry, who I'm trying to retrain to an attacking midfield. Torres, a bit more of a ball-winning Colombian midfielder who could make it. We're trying to put him out on loan at the moment. And then a bunch of prospects I'm not sure about after that. I'm thinking these two will be okay if they be retrained. I like McKay, I like Knudsen, they're out on loan. But I think the pathway's kind of closing on Morton and Inez and everybody else. So they've been sort of transfer listed. We're trying to get people out and really move along, including Theo, sadly. He doesn't make it. So at the moment, with Champions League football and a title push on the cards, Season 4 is fantastic. Season 5 is lining up to be just as exciting. And yeah, I really can't wait to get started. We open up at Southampton away, Arsenal away, Liverpool at home, Everton away. 2 away games, then Liverpool, then Everton away. Wolves aren't an easy game. Spurs, Stoke, Watford. You know, it's going to be what it's going to be, I guess. So even though we got a lot of stuff, we didn't go hard into the Community Shield. We played the new guys basically to get them acclimatized. We lost that 1-0, but we kind of outplayed United, so I'm happy with that. Basically, we need to get pretty deep in the Carabao Cup, deep into the FA Cup, reach the group stage, which is an automatic for us. So anything's a bonus in the Champions League, and qualify for Europa League in the Premiership. I told the boys that we wanted Champions League football. I told the board Europa League football, but I told the players Champions League. And me, I got my eye on the title. Don't want the FA Cup. Don't want the Carabao Cup. Didn't care about this. Whatever happens here happens. I want the Premier League Season 5. And I'm beginning to believe in the team we have. Join me live on Twitch TV at Chris Ormy. Again, follow me there. Hit that notification and follow buttons. Hit the subscribe buttons if you want to support this channel as well. Follow me on Twitter. Any updates that happen should be on this channel, but I can't say how regular I'm going to do these FM videos on this channel. The live stuff happens over on the Twitch. If you want to keep updated, that's the best place to be. Get involved in the chat and have some fun. But yeah, we begin Monday. I don't know what's going to happen, but it's going to be fun. I'll see you guys then.